Welcome to the Seance Podcast, featuring Alan Champagne, Sawyer Champagne,
I'm out of here.
Justin J. Alameda, and Devin Moon. Hi, we're recording. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Brain Stew, the podcast. Let me do that again. Welcome to Brain Stew, the podcast. My name is Devin Moon. To my right, of course, is Sawyer Champagne.
What's up?
Look at that, is beautiful. That is how you come in like a smooth criminal.
Well,
Alan.
can't top that now.
well, you can. I don't know how, but right in front of me, of course, is Alan Champagne.
What's up, Devin?
That's beautiful.
All right.
Much better. Add another word, Sawyer. Suck it.
I directed it to the listeners, not to you.
Some of us are more important. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. Dustin, go ahead.
The dude abides.
The dude abides. To my left is Mexico, the Dustin, whatever you want to call him. He's right next to me. Guys, this is our second episode. We're a little older, a little wiser. A little, not as wise, but a little wiser.
Let's not split hairs here. Let's take the win.
I at least have a patch of gray hair on my head somewhere. I have been told frequently by family.
Found it.
Thank you,
Boom.
Mexico. Bam. Done. Guys, welcome back if you're listening to us again. We're very grateful for you guys for listening, especially to our Patreon people. You're awesome. We're very grateful for you. As requested, for the $7 price, we got to call out the name of the $7 person. And today, the $7 person on Patreon is Trevor Payne, my cousin. He's awesome. So, Trevor, for you, I don't know what we can give you except say your name. And also, Mexico's pulling up the leg. Not pulling up the leg. You don't pull up the leg. Pulling up his pants to show his nice white leg. Sawyer is doing the same.
Just for you.
That is love.
I'm wearing shorts. So
Oh, well. The leg is already showing. He's got beautiful gams. I can describe his gams for you. He has brown, silky hair on a muscle.
Just pull that suck.
Anyways, we could give you, let's see, we could say something nice about, maybe like a reference. Let's give him a work reference. Trevor Payne is a very good employee. I would definitely recommend him as a future employee for whatever business that he is going into someday in his future.
There's your endorsement. That's
And very kind individual. Anyways, there you go, Trev. Thank you for supporting us. You can find us at brainstewthepodcast.libsyn.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Our Twitter thing is at brainstewthepod, P-O-D. Everything else is brainstewthepodcast. You can also find us on Patreon, at Patreon. It's a type of support similar to... Kickstarter, yeah. So Patreon's basically Kickstarter, but for people like us, podcasts. So if you really like what you hear, support us on Patreon. Go on there, search for us at Brainstew, the podcast. We have a $1 option, a $5 option, and a $7 option. Basically, you're getting episodes before people. You're getting a free entry in to win a gift. You're also getting a lot more things that you can read about for the $5 and $7. But if we just get $1, that'd be awesome. But if you don't want to do anything, you can find us free on any of those other things, and we'll just post those ones a week later. We'll be on iTunes hopefully really soon. Hopefully by the time this comes out, it'll be on iTunes. If not, it's Sawyer's fault. I'm so sorry. He's such an awful person.
Strike three.
Just kidding. It's not Sawyer's fault at all.
Wait a second. I have an iPhone. Who has an Android out of all of us? It's their fault.
It's not my fault. I have a Microsoft phone. But yes, I understand. Anyways.
Not my fault.
So yeah, you'll find us on iTunes. It's not Sawyer's fault. It's mine. Actually, it's iTunes. No, just kidding. So let's start it off. Are you guys happy with this console generation? And I don't mean the Xbox 360 because I know people are all confused with current and blah blah. We're done with the 360. The 360 is dead. Yeah. PlayStation 3 is dead. Those are old, right? So are you guys happy with the current consoles, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Wii U?
Better let Sawyer start this one.
Yeah, Soy, what is your feelings? Because it's been out for 2 years now. We get a good layout. What do you think comparatively and so forth about it?
Okay, so I was even looking at this because it's kind of we're all pretty biased. We're all kind of Xbox people,
A good majority, yeah.
ish,
Yeah.
and so I've played the Wii U, which it's fun. I was playing Mario Kart 8
Yeah.
on Sunday. It was great.
Yeah, we were playing it recently. It was really fun.
I have Smash Bros. And I've played it a little bit, and I suck horribly.
Yeah, me too.
I
But
mean,
I
it's-
enjoy it still.
It's Nintendo. It's fun party games, and
Yeah.
it's fun to have people around, and it's good fun.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even think they were in the race anymore. 'Cause they're kind of like did their spin-off. They're not really competing with the big guys anymore. It's not so much
true.
about the big names, the new games. Yeah, look, I don't know how to say it. They're staying towards their classics. They kind of opted out of the technology race as far as like high-end graphics.
It's true.
So
like,
maybe it's not next gen. They're just kind of re-imaging, doing their own thing.
they're
off in
kind
the
of
other
on their
corner.
own place because all of Wii U's content is Nintendo. Like it's rare. What would not be there? Not in. I mean, currently that's all from Nintendo because all the third-party people want to do next-gen graphics, next-gen crap. So and they're running an old. Like they're good graphics. It's cool to see HD Mario.
Yeah.
It's cool to see HD Zelda and all that stuff, and like it looks really good. Like what they pull out of that system is really good because they work with what they know, right? Pixar is just they have pretty graphics sometimes because all they do is like use they use the animation they have and make it look good instead of going super detailed oriented.
I think that's a good point. Stick with what you know.
Yeah.
If you've got a formula, use it. It works.
Yeah.
Nintendo's put out good stuff over the years. They have their niche. They cater to all the kids.
Yeah.
Not that they're not hardcore gamers.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just-
true.
Kids need something to grow up on.
Yeah.
I think for all of us, that was Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's
Sega.
kind of what I want
Yeah.
my kids to grow up on is Nintendo.
It's true, and
as their
that's what
first
I would
taste.
want too. And it's a good way to get kids into games. I'd rather that than phones or stuff, which is fine. Phone games can be good, but they're not nearly as good, So I'm not sure. But yeah, the Wii U, I think it's running its own thing, but I like what the Wii U is doing. Like, it reminds me of the GameCube a lot. It's kind of like this random little system that you didn't think about that much. But later on, I think when we go back, people will be like, the GameCube had good games, right? Like when you go back, the GameCube actually does have some really good games. You just actually have to look at them and like look through them and stuff. There's like 25 good games, but they're really good games. You know what I mean? Unlike the Xbox where it's like, there's like 50 good games, but
3 billion terrible ones.
yeah, millions of bad ones, yeah. So, and I think that's what the Wii U will be. Because all their games, when they hit them, especially Nintendo, when they hit, they're really good. They don't slack. They're like 9.5s, 9.8s on IGN. They're like hardcore. So I like the buy of the Wii U, surprisingly. I think the gamepad is kind of crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no point of it other than for a map, which is really nice to look down and see the map. But that's all I can.
It's usually on the screen though, so.
Well, yeah, but it's nice to have your screen not like boggled down with a map, and it has all your item inventory. Like for Zelda and stuff, you can just click on your inventory instead of like
Stop and
open.
stop.
Press start, go to it. It makes it more fluid instead of more fluid. So it's good for that. But that's the only thing. When they try to like keep putting gimmicks and stuff into it, it's really irritating to. I almost just play on the gamepad sometimes. I was playing Captain Toad's Treasure Tractor, which you use the cameras a lot to move. It's like a puzzle game. Mm-hmm. Anyways, you move the cameras a lot, and I was just looking down at the gamepad more than I was looking at the TV screen because I don't know. It's like they want to be two screens, but I can't like pay attention to this screen and that screen without just It has good things like I like going out with it. Like I can leave the room and play with it if I want, or like play little NES games on there. It's fun to like play those kind of games, but that's what I think of Wii U. since I'm the Wii U-ish kind of guy.
Well, I definitely think it has a place in the living room because it has its own games. They don't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely
They're staying, yeah.
worth the buy because it has its great games that are entertaining and fun.
Yeah.
And then between PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I mean, it's tough to compare both of them just because they both have their own like really good games, and it just kind of depends on what your friends are playing and what groups they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them will share like amazing games. Destiny and Call of Duty and all those shooters are on both.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. It's kind of just on preference.
Yeah.
So I know I have the Xbox One. I almost got a PlayStation for Christmas, but I went Wii U instead.
Uh-huh.
But with the Xbox One, I'm impressed with a few things. Like I like to snap and have the multiple applications going so I can like, if the party chat's not working well
Yeah.
on Destiny, which is a huge complaint, open up Skype and have Skype on the side, and I can manage it and call while I'm still in the game and not have to exit out.
Yeah.
And then it'll save your progress in the game unless you quit or you start up another game.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it has really cool features. Some of them are a little annoying, but I think they did pretty well with it. I'm okay with it. It may not be as hard hitting as the 360 was, but it's still a pretty good buy.
Yeah, I think so too. I think for getting the games you get, which are really good games, it's worth the buy. And I think they have more exclusives than both easily. Because right now, what I see, so PlayStation 4, they came out on E3 and they wasted Xbox One like when they first came out. And they were like, dude, this is all about games. Forget you, Xbox One. Do your crap. And then Xbox One was like, oh no. And they try to switch their crap around, right? Mm-hmm. And try to follow that junk. And, but the thing is, like, PS4, I don't know where the games are. Like they say they have all these exclusives, and I try to look for them, but
Still in production?
Yeah, there's, like, a lot of them are in production. Like, they don't have dates. A lot of them, they're like, okay, Uncharted 4 is coming. Mm-hmm. It looks cool, but I don't know when. You know, and that's true with Nintendo, but they have to do it because they're losing money, right?
Yeah.
They have to get it out. But these guys, it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Xbox One has more exclusives. They have Sunset Overdrive. They have, you know, Halo, which has always been there. They have, like, a lot more. They got Forza. Is that the racing?
Forza,
yeah. Horizon 2 and all that, so.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've kind of lost interest in the whole war after the big 360 PS3 dilemma. It was kind of like, you know what, I don't even care anymore. Anything that's really good, they're going to put on both consoles.
It's true.
It's like, both of them are just fancy DVD players to me at this point in time because they're not putting out quality games like they used to either.
Yeah. Lots of the
to...
games are patched later. Lots of the things are, they're just like, visually, do you remember the jump from Xbox to 360?
Yep.
That was crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so the last really good looking games, Halo 2 probably, and Chaos Theory, right? Splinter Cell.
Right, just before the
Yeah,
launch.
those were the last really pretty games, and they were really good looking. And then Gears of War, you know what I mean?
That was a step up. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was like the Call of Duty, which
That's
was
true.
almost
Call of
identical.
Duty 2 wasn't really much prettier. That's true. What was also, but
It was
Oblivion
Gun came out.
Yeah, and that wasn't that great. But
was on both
Oblivion was
consoles.
on there. And Oblivion was like really pretty. At least to me, that felt like that was a next gen jump.
Compared to Oblivion,
Yeah.
the block graphics going on to... Or not Oblivion.
What was the last
Morrowind,
one?
right?
Morrowind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Morrowind, the block graphics going on. Great game.
Yeah.
I put hours into it, but then you go to Oblivion and it's just like, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
You have that...
But then they
feminine
made
moment.
they made that same jump from Oblivion to
Skyrim.
yeah. Though. I mean,
Yeah.
the developer does an amazing job each jump. Other than I haven't touched their MMO, so
Oh, that's a different beast.
Yeah. But yeah. So the jump though was crazy. At least for me, because one thing, HD. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When you pop, so Wii U, I got Metroid Prime Trilogy on it just recently, and you go back into the Wii stuff, and you're like, oh my, this is just blurry garbage.
Yeah.
And people during the time, they were like, this is really good graphics for what it was. But no, it's like really blurry. It's a complete change, But from an HD console to an HD console, I haven't seen the graphical jump. as much. It doesn't shock me as much.
No, there was no shock and awe.
Like,
Granted, I haven't played it on anything super large enough to test it.
I know. Is there a game that you guys would say are graphical powerhouses on those systems yet? That you would be like,
we
this is
just
over.
Started playing Evolve. That should have been. I mean, it came out Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it
super
should have been
recent. Yeah.
And I think just because it's a small game, you don't really see. It's pretty fast paced. A lot of moving things.
Yeah.
It has animals that all are the same cookie cutter thing. No distinguished. So it's not really a test of graphics, I guess. But
yeah.
It's a big map, and they do go into detail with the cliff faces and the plants and stuff. If you've actually like stopped and looked a little bit, and the animals are a lot of detail. They are just clones of each other, but they did put a lot of detail in them.
Mm-hmm.
it's true. But
And so, I mean, they still did the cookie cutter, but that was the same thing with Assassin's Creed Unity. They're like, oh my gosh, bigger crowds.
Yeah.
But the crowd was the same 6 people copy and pasted into 100 people. And so it was just like, well, I
wasn't as
pickpocketed
interesting.
12 of you, and
Yeah.
it was just kind of boring.
so I mean, I understand. It's also the give and take. You want
Yeah.
the performance to match the quality and
Yeah,
come out with a happy
yeah.
median. But
I think
I would have thought.
people
Yeah, I
are
would
still
have thought
trying
bigger.
to crack the technology. I
think
don't
so,
think we've
too.
unlocked the full potential of either of the systems yet.
Yeah, no way. But I feel like 2 years in, I would hope that game came out. That was the powerhouse. You know, that you're like, this is really pretty. Because
Start to test.
or the one
limits.
that changes something, makes you feel that this is the next gen. Because there's some like demos they show of like graphic stuff that people are doing. You're like, that is like photo real, you know. But these ones, like, I don't know. I'm just like,
Should we wait for the next Elder Scrolls? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I'm just like, this is like, how long well, Gears of War for me was the one that was like, this is
The changer.
Yeah, this
Beautiful
is the
game.
one. Yeah, and we don't have our Gears of War yet. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know
true.
what will be that yet because I haven't seen it yet. Have you guys seen Uncharted 4? Anything about it?
I haven't seen anything on the PlayStation side. I haven't been paying too much because I don't have
Well,
a
I've
PlayStation.
seen the trailers, but they're all like a year old now.
Yeah,
So
there
it's
was
like,
a recent one just barely that's supposed to be really cool, and I bet that game will look really good because those Uncharted looks awesome, and I'm sure they'll
Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
They do it right.
they do it right. But all in all, comparatively, last generation, this generation, what do you think? Better, worse? Soy?
I think the Xbox 360 had a lot better time than the Xbox One. But then going to say, like, the PlayStations, I haven't done too much.
Yeah,
PlayStation 2 was amazing.
yeah,
But PlayStation 3, it had pretty good games, and it had its day as well. I think the last gen just beats this gen just because it had, that decade to work into, though.
that's true. They had a longer period, definitely. And I think, yeah, I don't know. I think they have some good stuff here and there.
If you compare the first 360 games to the last 360 game, there's a huge
Oh, there's a giant difference. Yeah,
giant jump.
yeah.
So
So I think it'll come.
time.
I was
will
just
tell.
hoping it would come sooner. And I feel like the online went backwards for a lot of the systems. Not PlayStation. I think their network is a lot better now. But the Xbox One is, what I've heard, is a step backwards instead of a step forwards
a
in a
little
lot of
too
ways.
complex, not as reliable.
Yeah, a little more complex. A lot of, I don't know. I've just, like, things like chatting with friends and stuff I heard were kind of messed up.
I just spent 4
Yeah.
hours literally troubleshooting just to make my chat work, and then another 2 hours just so I can get back into a game.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to connect with either of
And
them.
a lot of the consoles you kind of like, a lot of the consoles you, I don't know. There's a lot of broken games at the start and then you fix them as they come in. And I feel like that's nasty too. Anyways, but it might be something we're just going to have to deal with this generation of consoles. So
Don't rush your games, people.
yeah,
Take
just
your time.
Take your time, make a good game. That's probably all, So
It was like Evolve. The original release date was last year in October, and I'm kind of glad they pushed it back until February so they could polish it up. And they released alpha before the original release date, and I played it and it was fun.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't wait for October, and then they push it back, and I was like, ah, crap. Oh well, hopefully they'll polish it up good. And from what I've played of it, I like it. I mean, I haven't played way too much because I've only played with, Alan and my other brother, and
yeah.
it's pretty fun, but there's other parts I need to get into to fully judge it. But I mean, they did a good job waiting and polishing up more than what it originally was.
Yeah.
And so, but then you have like the Xbox One, which is basically a complete different console from when it's a release.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's a good console now at release. I owned it, and it was dusty because I never used it.
Yeah.
I had my 360.
Yeah. But at least it's getting the use now.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, it's me, Devin Moon. For more Brains to the Gamecast, be sure to listen in every Wednesday on iTunes. And while you're there, subscribe. Or get the full episode a week early by supporting us on Patreon. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also find all this information on our website, www.brainstewthepodcast.libsyn.com.